Alright, we are now live.
Hello, world.
Hello.
Hello, world. This time we actually have enough internet connection to attempt this.
Let alone play like last time.
Yeah. We'll see if it continues.
Hold.
Welcome to Stuff and Nonsense. Full of nonsensical stuff. I am your kind and benevolent DM. Kind and benevolent DM. I run everything, and I also play our resident Healy McKeel, Durbin. We also have Michelle.
Hello. I play Inez, the svirfneblin dragon oracle, also known as Trogdor Burninator.
We also have Zeke, who keeps popping in and out of Roll20.
My mouse has a built-in back button.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Zeke. I play Adin, our resident sorcerer. I had to actually remember what he was called.
It's been a while. We also have Mia.
Hi, I play our infamous duo of people, Sorin, the druid, who happens to apparently enjoy trying to socialize, usually failing, but not as bad as when he tries to fight, and Cubla, the hungry one. Young, hungry, female. It's not a good mix.
Might want to mention she's a snow leopard.
That's not important.
It just totally changes at the viewpoint.
Enjoys eating all of our monsters.
And we have Tegan.
Hi, I play Saerenrae, the half-orc barbarian. This is your classic barbarian of smash, drink.
Does very good at it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Intimidate the piss out of anything.
Literally,
apparently.
in many cases. When you guys left off last time, you agreed to help, what's his face? What's your face's uncle?
Mm-hmm.
Surgor. You guys were we're in between things. You were like, we haven't heard of any new adventures that require our assistance, TM. So you decided to go and check out
Our assistants, quote unquote.
Quote
Our
unquote.
assistants.
You decided, hey, we're back in town, let's go see how Kara's doing at her uncle's. And he's a weaponsmith, so maybe he'll have weapons. And you go and visit him, and he is, like, having a nervous breakdown. And he ends up telling you guys, hey, his wife's soul has been visiting him at night. Something is holding her soul ransom. They've been basically blackmailing him for money. And he's like, can you help? I am running out of things to do, and I don't think they're ever going to let her go. And you're like, sure, why not? And you traipse off to the graveyard, and you had several hours to do various ridiculous plans. There was trap lines,
Becoming a tree.
and becoming a tree, just all sorts of stuff. And pretty much last session was 90% talking to Surgor and getting ready for the fight, and only 10% the actual fight, because it took approximately 2 rounds for you guys to squish everyone into paste.
Yup. It didn't help when we tossed the horse head over here.
Yes!
But
Yeah.
I would like to argue that this is what happens when we actually plan shit.
Yeah, it went very well. So, there was a trap line set up, and the 2 hobgoblins that were in front of the wagon both passed their checks, but the horse failed. If I remember right, the horse rolled a 1 and just utterly heads over heels biffed it. Then there was attacking and there was smashing, and the war caster didn't even really get a turn off, and basically at the end of this you have lots of dead hobgoblins, one absolutely terrified hobgoblin who is nearly dead, and Sorin is flying off after the other carriage that he saw in a distance. But he did tell you guys, he's like, I see another carriage, I'm going after it, bye. And then he turned into an owl and flew away.
Yup.
So Sorin we will come to later. For now, you guys are standing in the graveyard next to a... I think the horse is actually still alive at this point, but just with broken legs.
I thought it was like very, very dead.
I'm not sure. We'll say he's dead, because I don't want to make screaming horse noises.
Yeah.
There's... Let's see, there was... I need to go to the screen that you guys are on, and not my screen.
Heard that wonderful perception check I rolled for scavenging.
Guess what I missed notification for?
What?
My computer wants to update.
Can you just ignore it?
No, I missed notification. It just started to restart on me.
Oh, lovely. Well, this session is mostly talking anyways. We don't actually have a map for the majority of it.
Yep, I just try to avoid running overrunning either CPU when I'm doing this nowadays.
Yeah.
How is it that you are updating every time?
Because my computer I've actually checked, it keeps failing half the updates.
So it's just retrying every week?
Take into the Geek Squad, dude. That's what was going on with my little one.
We did take it into the Geek Squad. Remember?
Anyways, so you guys had 2 soldiers, 2 archers, a warcaster, and the dude that was driving the horse. And you guys took out most of them. I think the one that's left is a soldier. Let me see. Oh, nope, he's an archer. He jumped off, and I think he was on fire for a while. And then he was absolutely terrified when Saerenrae leapt over to his side of the carriage and looked like she was gonna smash him, and then she like jumped over him to kill the other one.
It's like she just kind of kept walking over him.
Yeah, he is... Oh, because you guys also pretty much convinced all of them that you were ghosts for the first half of the encounter.
Oh, hey, that one actually went by quick.
Because, you know, you had the rock that turned you into a person, and the tree that turned into a person that looked like a vampire, and this white cat that comes out of nowhere. Yeah, they were pretty much convinced you were ghosts for half of the encounter.
So, first we convinced a group of cultists that were demons.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're ghosts.
Mm-hmm. So...
What next? Walking sushi dinners?
Something like that.
I think that's what the dragon thought we were.
At this point, you have 1 hobgoblin left from the bunch. You guys know that there's a second carriage that is on the run. You guys probably can't catch up to it because it was like 400 feet to the entrance or something. But you know that Sorin is flying after it. You have 1 guy left that you can either kill or question or whatever you'd like to do. Your ultimate goal is to find where these guys were delivering stuff. So
Well,
you guys probably... There's a couple different ways that this can go. You probably want to start with interrogation. Unless you just want to let him go. You know, you could always follow him.
I was going to ask Sorin to turn into a horse instead of an owl, and then we could have pulled the carriage and actually had a carriage chase, but you know.
I think we broke the carriage.
We broke the horse.
It probably took some damage when... Actually, it's on fire.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
I set it on fire.
It's still burning merrily.
Good for it.
What in the hell? My computer remembered that I was on Discord.
Good job.
So at this exact second, most of you are still focused right here, because that's where the last enemy was that got killed. Or more like right here. In this area here.
Yeah, like...
I think the only person looking at the hobgoblin is Darwin.
Yep.
I think Cubla's eating the horse. Or
Yeah,
something.
Kubla's eating either the horse or a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
The hobgoblin probably tastes better.
She's happy.
Darwin's just making
Depends on
sure
the
that this guy
hobgoblin
doesn't run
condition.
off.
I'm rifling through pockets.
Oh, I know the other reason they thought you guys were ghosts. Because Darwin did a bluff check and went, "Ooh, we're ghosts," essentially. You
And it
have
worked?
angered the gods of the cemetery! And it worked.
Yep.
The things I miss.
Oh yeah, because you were gone a lot of it. You stood on top of the arbor shooting. It was
I don't
impressive.
think we actually ever managed to have Aiden any.
Ever have Aiden hit anything? Well,
Or shoot.
not hitting anything would be normal, so...
Yeah.
No, he didn't even shoot. Everything was basically dead.
I
by the
probably
time
forgot
it came
you.
in.
We only had 2 turns, 2 rounds.
That's okay. It's okay.
Sorin
Aiden's
didn't
kind
hit
of...
anything either, don't worry. And he tried.
Aiden's okay with not having to do work.
So Darwin is probably going to grab the hobgoblin archer and kind of drag him over to the rest of the group. And he'll kind of give everybody a look of, I'm obviously a healer, I am probably not the best person to play bad cop.
Cubla looks up with a look of, I don't speak English. Or technically human.
You
Just
don't
kind of
speak
sweet sound.
people.
I eat people, not speak people.
I don't speak what I eat.
We have a whole bunch of people that would be very good at the bad cop side of things.
Yeah.
True.
Isn't that what our barbarians for?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the game Duck, but bad cop, bad cop, bad cop, good cop.
Saerenrae is going to reach down and just grab them by the, front of their clothes and just reach them, pull them up to her face and just tell her, "You're going to tell us everything you know, and you might just live."
Dang.
Um,
I incidentally want to use my sense motive on the hobgoblin to see if he's lying. So essentially, Saerenrae is holding this dude up and and scaring him, and he has a tiny little svirfneblin staring at him very intently.
way
I
up at
can see like Zinner holding up and like Ines just like resting on her shoulder like a parrot.
It's like climb, 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 climb. Stare. So I'm not even gonna roll for him because he was already intimidated last game. If I remember right, he failed like 3 different checks and was absolutely downright terrified to begin with. So he just stares at you and he's like, "I'll tell you everything, just please don't eat me."
satisfied morale.
And Inez, he is absolutely too terrified to even consider the concept of lying.
Cool.
Hmm. So, where?
I'm kind of loving that one thing in this skill challenge, you can actually roll a heal check to basically go, you know exactly how to cause the most pain to your victim.
That's not terrifying at all.
It doesn't grant a success by itself, but it grants a bonus.
So little hobgoblin. Where do you take everything?
We take everything to Horo van Diesbrock's manor. It's over in the nice part of town, and we just go back and we give them everything, and we've never been in the manor. We live in the gatehouse, by the garden. Pick up the gold, take it to the drop point, be ready for trouble, and we just dump it there, and then they never give it. You know, we live there. They don't give us much. Well, technically it's not Horal's manor, it's his brother's manor, but we haven't seen his brother in a long time, and Horal's probably a warlock who can summon demons, and he's just babbling all this.
Arvin, are you taking notes?
Oh, keep on going.
Yeah, we
The
work
more you tell
we work
us,
for
the
Horal.
longer you can live.
He's starting to run out of things to say. So he's like telling you about things that the other hobgoblins have done, and he's pretty sure that the one that you killed right there was stealing stuff in the middle of the night, and the other guy blows his nose on other people's clothes, and he's just telling you anything that comes into his mind at this point.
I'm just going to grab around his mouth to shut him up. So, do we still need him?
Darvin goes, well, he told us exactly how to get to the manor. I'm not sure that he'd be much use for getting into the good part of town, because he's obviously not the kind of creature that would be with our sort of group. So I don't think he could help us get in.
I'm going to, release his mouth. So, any ideas onto why we should keep you alive?
I was, I wouldn't, because this guy actually never even got a shot off at you guys, if I remember right. So he just starts going, I'm only here because my cousin told me that this was a great way to make money, and I don't even really know how to shoot this bow. I lied about it on my resume so that they would hire me.
So you're telling me that you're useless.
To them, I didn't try to attack you. I just, tried to not catch on fire.
No. You're saying that you're useless.
Maybe.
I don't deal with useless.
But I'd leave you alone. I'll just go away, really far away.
I'm not gonna cut it.
Ines just goes, oh, leave him alone. What's he gonna do? Get smashed into pulp when we run into him with his friends next time? I mean...
There doesn't even have to be a next time.
What?
You have him on, the verge of tears.
At which point, Inez looks at Adin and goes, why does Saerenrae get to smash, but I don't get to convert? It feels very unfair.
Do you want to try? Do you want to confirm?
Aiden nonchalantly shrugs.
Inez is like, how do you feel about converting to a dragon god religion?
I would be all for it. Actually,
was like-
hold on. Let me roll something for him. Which means I need to actually open up his sheet because I haven't done that. Because I forgot. And that. Okay, so he rolled an 18 sense motive to see if you are not messing with him.
Inez is dead ass serious.
I was about to say, does that include Zinra? Because she's dead ass serious about snapping his neck.
He's probably both of you, so he'll be like, yes, I will join your whatever. Please, convert me. I will be glad to go around and proclaim the name of whoever. And that's an 18 bluff, I guess.
Inez would like to roll sense motive. Because
It's not obvious he doesn't want to just live.
Okay, he is sincere about the fact that he doesn't want to die, but he will convert at least for a while.
Inez knows he's full of shit, essentially.
He's not totally full of shit. He's just maybe a quarter full of shit.
Inez is like, see, I had real high hopes for you, and now you just made me sad. Zenra, he made me sad.
Oh.
We just
He starts.
Aiden resumed the old Picard facepalm.
Wow.
Cubla, are you hearing this?
Darwin's like,
You know, with like a champagne bottle, just kind of grab hold of the cork and pull. I'm gonna start doing that.
Darwin's
Oh,
going
okay.
to like start rubbing at his temples and be like, you know, honestly, I can't really condone this. Can you just set it down?
Cubla meanders over to Inez and starts like bumping with head.
Well,
You know,
how about we like turn them into the
Authorities,
constabulary and have them hold on to him so we can make sure he doesn't rejoin his friends. But I really can't condone
More violent.
killing
mindless
somebody
killing.
who hasn't even attacked us once. And who
Mm.
obviously is a sad sack of shit.
That is one of the saddest sacks of shit that ever did sad sack of shit.
Fine.
You can knock him out if it will make you feel better.
and then we didn't become an evil party.
And if you'd like, I would condone you breaking his arm so he can't shoot.
Yep.
I think he gets knocked out.
Yes. Quite thoroughly knocked out.
Well,
And Darwin's like,
well,
that's partly because I don't want to listen to him anymore.
Inez would like to pray to Asterinian to curse his stupid ass for not believing in her.
You know, you never know. You could have fully converted him in time.
Yes, but that was not the point of the scene. You know it.
Well, maybe if you quit trying to convert people that are on the brink of being killed by Saerenrae, you might have better
Look.
luck.
Inez does not have many
It was a
social
Spanish
skills.
Inquisition, okay?
She is learning how to do this.
Pro tip, not almost killing them is usually a good start.
Inez,
We're a violent party. That's how
That's-
this works.
That's bestowing the mercy upon them.
Also, Inez just wants him to convert because he's been cursed now by Asterinian for not believing in her. Asterinian doesn't have to listen to her, that's her current prayer.
Roll some kind of religion check.
No.
Willpower.
Yeah, no, I got it. Give me a minute. Where are my knowledges?
And then I
There
will
it
keep
is.
that in mind. Okay.
Solid roll.
So you guys knock out the poor, sad sack of shit, and bestow him upon the guards of the graveyard, and tell them to deliver him to, essentially, the local police force. At
And
this
also
point,
apologize to them for this.
yeah, they're like, you guys. Darwin goes over and he's like, "There's a carriage on fire and a bunch of dead people and a dead horse. I'm sorry." And then leaves. And they're like, what? So, with this information, you can head towards the entrance to the nicer part of the city. We'll come back to you. For now, Sorin! You are winging through the sky after the other carriage, which is driving away at full speed. Roll me a fly check.
This is why I put points in fly.
Because of course you did.
It's one of my favorite skills.
Mine too.
Not me.
Well, sorry.
Down the road, it will actually be me putting points in fly.
You
Because-
are not used to a flying creature, and as you're figuring out how do wings work, you briefly lose sight of the carriage as it's careening through the town. Let me see what else I want you to roll. Roll me a perception check.
Better.
So you lost sight of the carriage as it was careening through the streets. However, you did manage to keep an ear on them, and once you got back up into the air, you caught sight of them again as you're flying through. It's not too hard to hear because the streets of New Sarshell are narrow and not too good of a quality, so there's lots of like little rocks that get kicked up and things like that. Luckily, at this time of day, it's also deserted. So really, there's only the one thing going through town, drifting at high speeds, you know. You don't really have much of a Fast and the Furious issue going on. And no accidents, because there's nobody else in the roads. Roll me another fly check.
Look, you starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah, you're doing a better job keeping up with the carriage as it's rushing through the streets. You notice that you are approaching the noble district of town, the better area of town. They're headed straight for the gate. At this point, you have them in sight. You're probably most of a block behind them. I imagine you're keeping back just a little bit.
Yeah,
But you're still following.
Sure they would have issues with, owl following them.
Well, they might not notice you. You don't know. What do you want to do at this point? They're slowing down to go through the gate. The guards seem to recognize them because they greet them and they're letting them through without any real problem.
Sorin's gonna continue following them.
Okay. So, they slow down, they go through the gate, they go on the other side, they hurry up again, they head through the streets of the noble district to come to a
Manor.
a manor. I'm trying to find.
Has a note. After they passed the gate, Sorin picks up a rock carefully
Okay,
and does light on it.
so he flies down and picks up a rock.
Out of their sight.
Roll me a fly check for that.
Probably gonna crash land. Oh, holy cow, Sorin!
It's too bad nobody's there because it is the most epic flight maneuver ever. You like come in and do this twirling roll, barrel roll as you go in, and your talons clutch the rock just perfectly. There's no slipping whatsoever as you come out of it, break your wings, zoom back up. It was amazing. And nobody was around to see
All
it.
Sorin's doing is giving you guys a hello, I was here maneuver.
So are you keeping it in your talons, or are you leaving it there for them to follow?
He left it where he
What?
found it.
Leaving it on the ground there?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are probably going to be like, whoa, flowing rock. But
Okay. So you see as they approach a mansion. It's from your bird's eye view, you can see a fairly large mansion situated in the middle of a small but dense garden, and around that there is a brick wall. The mansion, if you were looking at it from the ground level, would be hidden from view from the walls by all the trees and bushes. The carriage rushes in through the front gate, and some hobgoblins pile out first into the gatehouse, and then they run for the mansion. So at this point, let's leave you there, and scooch on back to everybody else. So, everybody else, you have left the graveyard. I assume you're heading toward the noble district.
I wanted to kind of move through the bodies real quick.
Loot the bodies?
Yeah.
Let me...
No,
Because
not
you did
thoroughly, but-
mention that, I just didn't.
Yeah. I rolled a 28 for perception. Just a...
The hobgoblins don't really have any nice items on them. You know, other than, you know, they've got some decent-ish clothes. Looks like kind of a uniform type of thing. The Warcaster had a staff that he channeled through, but it was pretty much just a stick that he used. And also, I think it caught on fire. Pretty much what you find is the hobgoblins have some coin of various kinds. There's a total of... basically the equivalents of 100 gold coins. In varying denominations on the hobgoblins.
And do they all seem to have, like, because you mentioned uniform, do they all have, like a unifying, like, patch or something? Or a mark?
No, it's more like the same person gave them all clothes.
Okay.
And they probably got them for cheap somewhere. So they don't have a insignia type thing, no badge or anything that says they work for a specific person. But it sounds like they've been staying at one guy's place, and he provided them with clothes and food and things in exchange for certain job's done.
Mm-hmm.
The carriage looks like it was pretty nice before it got caught on fire and everything. Which makes sense given that they came from the noble district. The horse also was a high blood horse. It was a good quality, well-bred. Looks like one of those that probably there's another horse somewhere that makes it a matched pair, but this particular carriage was a one-horse carriage.
What you're saying, that I could probably take the horse's head and have it as evidence.
Possibly, if anybody recognizes that particular horse, if the person who owns him has a tendency to take him out a lot, it's a possibility.
Anyone opposed to me taking the head real quick?
Nope.
You want me to roll anything for that, or just I take the head?
I imagine that you've got enough strength and practice in taking heads off of things that... Yeah, once you've done it a couple of dozen times, you're pretty good at it.
I thought Saerenrae was more the smooshy type, the slashy type.
Well, she's done both. Darwin looks a little grossed out. He's like... Ugh. He's like...
Goes over to him and just kind of bump.
He's like, I'll be waiting out by the entrance to the graveyard.
I'm going with Darwin.
Cubla like walks over to Inez, kind of tries to shove her onto her back.
It's like, hey, want to ride?
It's like, small human, get on my back.
Small, slow human.
Do you want her to roll something for this?
Well, I won't require a roll if both of you are working together.
I mean, I don't know. Is Inez opposed to getting knocked onto Cubla's back?
What am I doing on Cubla's back?
Cubla is offering a ride.
Yeah, kind of the shove.
I imagine Cubla has gone over and like done the headbutt thing to knock Inez onto...
Kind of onto her back.
Yeah.
Hi.
Inez feels that this is a required part of bonding with this cat, and so therefore agrees.
Cubla's like, sweet!
But also, Inez would like to remind everybody that she can fly.
Cubla's like, I'm after her!
It could be a good change.
Oh.
She weighs next to nothing.
This is currently Inez's attempt at bonding. This is how Inez understands bonding works.
Well, she's small enough, most things can pick her up.